This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, your guardian of the First Amendment, America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Friday morning to everybody, friend and foe. I like enemies because they make you appreciate your friends a lot more. You know that? You see these asswipe enemy son of a bitches. And speaking of asswipes, Bob Sprague. You guys, you gotta go. You gotta go to the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition Facebook. We've got 2 or 3 pictures of Bob Sprague. It used to be God Sprague, but you know we found out that he wasn't God, that he's a little man, a little piece of crap. His new nickname is Bob, I would rather piss in my pants than piss in a urinal Sprague. And Bob, I just want to know, I'm asking you, did you get drunk and pass out and piss in your drawers? Bob Sprague, what a piece of crap. You know, the son of a bitch said I'm a bottom feeder. Well, I may be a bottom feeder, but I don't have the pins on my bottom, Sprague, if you know what I mean. They tell me that they're trying to get Sprague to be the poster child for Depends underwear. Bob Sprague, what an embarrassment you are to everybody in St. Clair County. You can walk around like you're a big shot, you no-count rotten son of a bitch, but that's just what you are, a no-good rotten son of a bitch. Walk around, and this son of a bitch and bastard didn't go to his dad's funeral, didn't go to his brother's funeral. What kind of piece of crap is that? I don't give a damn. That's the man that brought you into this world, Sprague. That's the man that made you a lawyer. That's a man that fed you until you got old enough to take care of yourself. And you're going to disrespect him? And more so disrespect you, but you're so disrespectful, God Sprague, nobody gives a damn about you. We're going to run your skanky ass and your old lady's ass out of town come November of 2016. And yes, I said skank, Sprague. Come talk to me, Sprague. Give me a call, you idiot. I know you can't defend yourself. Can you defend your wife? Can you be man enough? Well, maybe not. And then you put out a hit piece on Bob Romanik, and I love it. Poor white trash. I'm getting more recognition than the president here in St. Clair County. But says, we want to make it romantic land. And I'll tell you, Sprague, I do kind of want to make it romantic land like Six Flags, an amusement park. And what I want to do is have the Screaming Bob Romanik. And I want your wife to take a ride on the Screaming Bob, if you know what I mean, Sprague. And I think you do, you little bastard. I want your wife to take a big ride on the Screaming Bob. And she'll be screaming, saying, oh, finally a man. Because, Sprague, you're a boy. You're a boy, Sprague. No good piece of political crap. And this son of a bitch, people in St. Clair County, hear me out. He lost an election in 1972 when he ran for circuit judge in the Democratic primary. Couldn't even win. But he's made millions of dollars, people. Because he puts these people in office, and then he gets to be the city attorney for Cahokia, $150,000, $200,000 a year. City attorney for Centerville Township, a couple $100,000 a year. He was the city attorney in Belleville, probably made $2 or $3 million. See, this son of a bitch is behind the scene. He's a bastard that tells you to go out and shoplift and bring it home so I can eat it. Him. He's not going to do any of the dirty work. He's the same son of a bitch that goes down to East St. Louis. I don't care how you get the votes. Just get us elected. He doesn't give a damn. He doesn't respect anybody, black or white. He's not a racist. He's just a hater. He hates everybody. And his guy, Kern. You remember when they had to have the consent decree when the FBI came in? You know, I don't know if it should be the Ku Klux Klan or maybe the Ku Klux Kern. I think Ku Klux Kern sounds better. I can't pronounce it, but it does sound better. But God, Sprague, I don't want to get too much on you today, but please, people, go to Facebook. St. Clair County Freedom Coalition on Facebook. They've got pictures of Sprague in his Depends underwear. They were in Cahokia. All the people wore Depends over their pants at the Cahokia meeting. Bob Sprague started crying. They tell me that Bob Sprague got tears in his eyes. Because, see, for a change, Sprague, we're coming after you, you rotten bastard. You bullies have been found out. We've challenged you. We've told you, come out on the political street. Nobody's done it before, Sprague. I just put $1 million, check with the State Board of Elections, money that I've worked hard for. They say Bob Romanik ill-gotten money. I've busted my ass for 35 years. I haven't taken or stolen a penny from the taxpayers. You guys, you political bastards in St. Clair County, the St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption, there's ill-gotten money. But see, they can say whatever, and they can put whatever in these hit pieces. It's not going to work, Sprague. People are smarter than that in St. Clair County. You guys have wore out your welcome. I'm going to have some billboards up, and God, Sprague's going to be right there. God and Sweet Cakes Kern. So you guys be ready. And people of St. Clair County, let me tell you, we've got some good candidates. We've united the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, which unites Democrats, Republicans, independents, black, white, men and women, to fight this culture of corruption. They're not asking, the Freedom Coalition isn't asking Democrats to turn over to be Republicans. We're just asking everybody to unite in November of 2016 and get rid of this culture of corruption in St. Clair County. Hell, we've got just as many Democrats saying that they're going to vote against the culture of corruption. So I don't know where the Democratic culture of corruption, the St. Clair County Democratic Central Committee, you rotten bastards, I don't know where you're going to get your support. I don't think you're going to buy it down in East St. Louis. I think the proud black community has found you bastards out. I think the whole community of St. Clair County has found you bastards out. But God, Sprague, we're coming to get you, politically, of course. And if you got a problem with that, give me a call. You notice people, they never call. They can never defend themselves. Well, what, we got a call from Patty Sprague? Patty Sprague wants to ride on the screaming Bob? Well, what do you think about that? Patty, we'll take your call later because we've got more important things to do now. If you want to ride on a man, get rid of that son of a bitch you got, because I would have to apologize to every man in this world if I said God Sprague was a man. Bob Sprague's not even a boy. He's a piece of political crap that's has destroyed this county of St. Clair for the last 30 years. And I just got a call earlier, and I'm alleging this because I don't know for a fact, but a gentleman that used to live on the property out by the airport said that John Sprague, Bob Sprague's father, owned 153 acres that he sold in the area of the Mid-America Airport. Now, if I'm wrong, Sprague, give me a call. Well, you won't give me a call. You didn't even go to your dad's funeral. They said the Sprague family owned 153 acres that was bought up around the Mid-America Airport. Now, I don't know that to be a fact, but we're going to find out. But if it is, people, do you see how this culture of corruption, this goes on and on and on? Let's take care of our housekeeping. We've got Larry Stammer coming in. He's a candidate, a great candidate for County Board for District 26 out of Belleville. And I have to salute him even before he comes in. He's ran as a Democrat. And I can't talk for Larry. He'll talk for himself when he comes in. But this man was a Democrat And he had the guts to fight against Sprague, to fight against Kern. Now they're coming out after him. They're spending money, sending hit pieces out. But you people in the 26th St. Clair County Board District, you guys ought to understand. A vote for Larry Stammer is a vote against the culture of corruption. Larry Stammer stood tall as a Democrat and say, hey, you Democrats, I'm a proud Democrat, but I can't take this crap anymore. And he stood up to Kern. He stood up to Sprague. Now they're mad. You don't stand up to the bullies. Larry Stammer called these bullies out, and now they don't know what to do other than throw a lot of money and put up a candidate against Larry Stammer just to show him that you better come into the fold, Larry Stammer, or we're going to hurt you. I believe Larry Stammer said, come get me, guys, because he wasn't going to be part of that St. Clair County culture of corruption, whether he's a Democrat or not. Now they're saying, hey, he's not a Democrat. He's a strong Democrat, been a Democrat for a long, long time. But he wants to get rid of the black sheep in the Democratic organization in St. Clair County, just like a lot of good Democrats do and all the Republicans do. And I think it's coming. Go hog wild at the 4th annual Ham and Cash Bingo. $500 cash prize benefiting the St. John the Baptist Catholic Church in the great little village of Smithton, Illinois. It'll be held at the Munier Center, 111 South Julia in Smithton. It'll be held Sunday, March the 13th, this Sunday. Doors open at 10:30 a.m. Games start at 1. There's going to be 25 games, barbecue plates, ham plates. So if you guys can get out and help the good people in Smithton at the 4th annual Ham and Cash Bingo, benefiting the St. John the Baptist Catholic Church in Smithton, Illinois, please do. And that'll be, again, this Sunday, March the 13th. Doors open at 10:30 a.m. Our good buddies, Chico and everybody at the Polish American War Vets, they're having their ham shoot coming up Sunday, March the 20th. It'll start at noon. They'll have their annual raffle. These guys, they're in and out at that ham shoot and meat shoot in Caseyville at the Polish American War Vets. They're located at 2180 North 81st Street in Caseyville, Illinois, and we want to say thank you, guys. Free ham and bean soup, so try to make it out. Sunday, March the 20th, and it starts at noon. What else we have here? Don't forget, March the 19th, music trivia, helping the 8th graders at the Millstadt School District. It'll be held at the Millstadt VFW. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. Trivia starts at 7. It's a music-based trivia. Must be 21 years or older. If you have any questions or concerns or want to get involved, you can contact 660-9797. Trivia night and silent auction. All proceeds benefit the Belleville West girls soccer team. It'll be held March the 12th, starts at 7 p.m., located at the St. Joseph's Catholic Church, the Parish Center in Freeburg, Illinois, at 2 North Alton Street. You guys, when you give me this stuff, make it easy, because I'm not only ignorant, I got bad eyes, so make it easy for me to read. If you have any questions or concerns for the Trivia Night and Silent Auction to benefit the Belleville West girls soccer team, you can contact Dawn Valmer at 618-980-8791 or Leah at 618-410-4069. The Emmanuel United Church of Christ in Hamel, Illinois, the family-style chicken dinner to be held this Sunday, March the 13th. Doors open at noon, serving from noon to 6 p.m. Any questions or concerns, you can contact 633-2277. The Millstadt Firemen's Annual Barbecue coming up Saturday, March the 26th. It'll start at 11 until whenever. Eat in or go out. It's pork steaks, bratwurst, chicken, hamburgers, the Millstadt Firemen's Annual Barbecue. Any questions or concerns, you can call 476-1234. Guys, come by. We've got a $250 check to donate to the great people and all the firefighters out in Millstadt. Thank you guys again very much. Lebanon, the Lebanon Fire Department, Good Friday Fish Fry, March the 25th at the Lebanon Fire Hall. It'll be held from 4 to 7:30. They also have a drive-through in the alley. I guess that's where I'll have to go. Most people don't want me to come through the front door. I understand how the blacks felt back in the day. They just don't like me. But Hey, Rich Smith, and all the good guys in Lebanon, we want to again salute you and all the firemen, policemen, first responders. We're going to try to make it out. Hopefully you people can. The Good Friday Fish Fry, March the 25th at the Lebanon Fire Department from 4 to 7:30 p.m. Tonight, I'm going to try again our good friends every Friday until Lent from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Smith and Turner Hall. Best fish in St. Clair County. I have to say that. Best fish in St. Clair County. I'm going to piss off some other fish fryers, but got to be the best. Smith and Turner Hall. See if you guys can make it out every Friday until Lent from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Smith and Turner Hall in Smithton, Illinois. Barbecue for United Church of Christ, located at State Route 163 in Belleville, right north of Millstadt, to be held Saturday, March the 19th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Any questions or concerns, you can contact 476-3377. Aviston and Albers Cub Scout Breakfast coming up this Sunday, March the 13th. Be held at the Aviston American Legion Hall from 8 to 11:30 a.m. On this date, March the 11th, 1892, the first public basketball game was played in Springfield, Massachusetts. On this date, March the 11th, 1918, Moscow became the capital of revolutionary Russia. On this date, March the 11th, 1930, William Howard Taft became the first president to be buried at Arlington National Cemetery. Hey, on this date for Mark Sweetcakes Kern, a great date in history for him, March the 11th, 1946, a nylon stocking riot broke out in Washington, D.C. Hundreds of women hoping to buy nylons on sale at a department store went berserk, breaking windows and battering each other as they clawed for the inexpensive nylon stockings. Does that interest you, Mark Sweetcake Kern, or do you have a big enough supply on your own? Just asking, buddy. On this date, March the 11th, 1953, the first woman doctor, F.M. Adams, was commissioned in the regular Army. On this date, March the 11th, 1993, Janet Reno was unanimously confirmed by the Senate to be the nation's first female Attorney General. That's what happened on this date, March the 11th, throughout all these years in our world's history. Don't forget, you can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and or the Grim Reaper of Radio. You can go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com. One word, common spelling for all three of our great stations. And now you can hear me, my repeat performance, every day, Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. and also broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard every night at the stroke of midnight. I want to say an early happy birthday greetings to a great friend of ours, Russ Erlinger. Russ is probably 35, 36 years old, don't know. Young man. Got a few years on him, but he looks great. So Russ Erlinger, happy birthday this Saturday, March the 12th will be his birthday. And we wish you, however old you are, Russ, we wish you another however many years you are, because what a great guy, Russ. Have a very, very, very happy birthday this Saturday. And our good friend, beautiful lady, Mary Dombach. Mary Dombach, happy birthday. Her birthday will be this Sunday. Rich, Mary, want to say hi to you guys. Brittany and Tracy also wishing you, Mary, a very happy birthday. So happy birthday to Mary. Hope you have a bunch more. Got a letter here, and they want me to say that Freeburg, and we've got a lot of listeners, good listeners in Freeburg. The support, they want to tell me, please support the referendum on Tuesday's ballot for the Freeburg Fire Department. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I would ask you people, because I've been asked, to hope everyone supports the referendum for the Freeburg Fire Department. I guess it's to raise money to build a new fire department. So it'd be greatly appreciated, as always, and we appreciate you guys in Freeburg, and I hope everything works okay for you guys. I don't know, again, what's exactly on the ballot, but please get out there and try to support. I don't care what it is. Try to support any fire department in your area, because they always support us. I got to say, I was humbled last night. I was at the bread company in Belleville. Had a military officer come up to me and thank me said, Bob Romanik, thank you for all you do for the military, all you do for the country. And I looked at him and I said, what? You thanking me? I said, no, sir, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak free on the air. But that was humbling. A military hero comes up to me and thanked me. And I said, no, I want to thank you. And I mean that sincerely, not trying to be melodramatic. I love this great country. And I'm proud to be an American. And anytime I can salute a military hero, I do that 24/7 if it helped this country out. But it just this gentleman come up to me, this military officer, and thanked me at the bread company. He listens all the time and thanked me. And no, I said, sir, I want to thank and salute you. And I do. I want to salute our great military. I want to salute this great country, just not some of the stinking, rotten bastard politicians. We got a call? Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Hey, Bob, Seth Spicer.
Mayor Spicer, Freeburg. Now, I was just talking about the opposite of you. You're a public servant for the good people in Freeburg, Illinois. And what's going on in your world, Mayor?
Well, I was just calling to give the fire department a plug down here in Freeburg. We have a referendum on the ballot on Tuesday, trying to get us a new fire department built here in Freeburg. And if you know any of the firefighters down here, it's all volunteer. They really do a great job. And you know, they're in a building that's been there since the early 50s, and they're just out of room. It's time we get them a new fire department built here in town, and I think I'm trying to get everybody's support come Tuesday.
Well, Mayor, I'll tell you what, I'd be supportive of. You've done a great job, Mayor. I know this is not why you called. You're supporting the fire department referendum, but Mayor, I want to salute you. I've been to Freeburg several times. You've done a great job out there. The people of Freeburg are just tremendous. They've always been nice to me, even though I'm sometimes not a nice guy. But I wish you guys the best in Freeburg, and anything we can do for you, Mayor Spicer. Let us know you're a true public servant for the people of Freeburg. We want to salute you here at KQQZ. Thank you, and keep up the good work.
Bob, I appreciate it, and let's all get out the poll on Tuesday and get this fire department passed.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Mayor Seth Spicer from the great little village of Freeburg, Illinois. People, get out and support your fire department, support your police departments, because they always, at the end of the day, they're behind us. They'll do what they can do for us, and especially a volunteer fire department. So, Freeburg, we wish you people the best out there. We're going to take a quick break. Want to talk about this young boy that was run over in East St. Louis. And then Larry Stammer will be coming on here. He'll be showing up about the next 5 minutes. We want to talk to him about his race. He's a great public servant. Stick around. It'll be very interesting. We'll be right back. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state, not bisexual, Mark Sweetcake's turn, bi-state, voice of freedom, get it right, you idiot, and stay out of the men's locker room at the Y, radical radio. And we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot.
The all-new 1190 AM KQQZ, marching in beat to the worldwide voice of freedom.
This program intended for mature audiences. The only thing worse than listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, is perhaps getting your head severed. But then some will say it's a toss-up. Now, back to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. As always, I'm going to thank everybody, all the hundreds of emails, calls, letters we get. We sincerely read them all. We appreciate them all. We can't read them all, as you know, but I want to thank Brad. Brad says, Bob, you're awesome for stepping up. I hear you're spending $1 million to rid the corruption in St. Clair County. Wish we could do the same on the Missouri side. If you're going to have a rally, if so, let me know, and I'll drive over from St. Louis to shake your hand. See, that's humbling, people. I'm just poor white trash who commandeered the airways. I'm not a big shot. Don't want to be what I hate, a big shot, but I thank you very much, Brad. Arnold Miller, thank you for your emails, and thank everybody else. I got to say one thing, and it's just on my mind, and it hurts. This young man, 11 years old, was killed down in East St. Louis. Maurice Richards. I'm sure a beautiful young man. See his picture here, 11 years old. Family lost a son. And it's not East St. Louis that it happened, and it could have happened anywhere. This boy laid in the street. People drove around him. See, that's how callous we are in this great country. People drove around that young man that was hit in the street. Maybe his life could have been saved. But if that had been your son, wouldn't you have wanted somebody to stop? That just shows what this country's becoming. You know, and it's I gotta believe it's primarily because of the politics. These politicians have tried to divide and conquer us for all these years. People are getting calloused. People just don't give a damn anymore. People are apathetic. And it hurts me. It really does. But here's Maurice Richards, 11 years old, fatally struck by a car and lay there in the street. And our condolences go out to the Richards family. And I know what it is to lose a son. It just pisses me off that things like this have to happen. And on a note similar to that, I don't want to make this a black-white thing because it's not. But remember Jan Fisk, the judge, a circuit judge, a political low-life scumbag piece of crap that sentenced this man to a year after someone got ran over, somebody's son, somebody's father, somebody's brother, somebody's good friend got ran over in East St. Louis. The defendant had a record so long. They dropped 5 or 6 big charges, aggravated battery charges, and this Judge Fisk should have got 50 years, could have gave him at least 6, gave him 1 year. They say he's going to be out in 6 months. Let me tell you what, I can't say it that way. Hypothetically, of course, let my son be run over and killed, and let a stinking no-count rotten judge sentence the person that killed my son to a year. There'd be 2 funerals. There'd be my son's and the person that give the guy a year. And that's not a threat to anybody. I'd have been all over. And then this judge, this no good, now we get back to Jan Fisk, this no good Jan Fisk, the family was outraged. You know what he told them? Shut up, or I'll hold you in contempt and put you in jail. That's the culture of corruption, people in the St. Clair County court system. That's the culture of corruption. Something needs to be done. These people need to go. Barra Civic has destroyed the St. Clair County court system, the 20th Judicial Circuit. And now he wants to be chief judge again. He's circumventing the state of Illinois Constitution, the same Constitution that he's sworn to uphold. It's the old do as I say, not as I do. But to lose a son and then to have a tragedy like this just expand throughout the judicial system. Judge Fisk, what a piece of crap. And I'm going to allege here in the very near future about all the corruption in the 20th Judicial Circuit, all the interference that some attorneys will mention the names at a future date. They regulate the St. Clair County judges. They say who the judges are going to be. They're the same people that practiced before these judges. I think that's criminal. I think it's the most corrupt. We can't never corrupt our judicial system. It has to be fair and impartial. Not in St. Clair County. Not in St. Clair County. And it's not going to get any better. Larry Stammer just pulled up, so he'll be coming in momentarily. I got to say one last thing. And people say, my friends, please quit telling me, watch what I say because I'm running for office. I don't have to be a state representative. I don't have to be a nothing. I am who I am, and I know what I do for the community. But this asswipe, this murder suspect that was an illegal alien, and that's secondary, killed 4 people in Kansas City and then came to Montgomery, Missouri, and killed a man, an innocent man, a man that had nothing to do with him. The guy just happened to live, the victim just happened to live close to the interstate where this guy apparently had been dropped off. After he killed this guy, the police got him. And now he tried to commit suicide. It says murder suspect was caught after manhunt attempt suicide, and they stopped him. Please, I love you guys. Here's what I would do. I'd have gave the son of a bitch a straight razor, and I'd say, hey, you need a shave. And if you want to do something else with that straight razor, go right ahead. Why the hell would we want to stop a no-good, rotten son of a bitch who just killed 5 innocent people? Save the county, save us taxpayers money. And I know the religious people and other people are going to say, oh, he ain't right, he's a no-good son of a bitch, I'm not voting for him. Don't care, people. I'd have let him have a razor in a cell by himself, of course. I'd say, we'll be back in a couple hours. And I'd also say, just remember, you're probably going to spend the rest of your life in a hellhole. So you think about it with that razor in your hand. If I'd have come back and the guy would have slit his throat, I would have celebrated. You know, these no good son of a bitches, that's what's wrong. We treat these suspects better than we treat the victims and their family. And it's time for a change. It's time for a change. Mr. Larry Stammer had just walked in, a great guy. He's a true public servant for the good people of the 26th County Board District in this once great county of St. Clair. Larry Stammer, it's always an honor and a privilege. How the hell you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great, Bob. I really appreciate you letting me on the show today. And I've been out working hard, standing up for honest government and fighting the Mark Kern and culture corruption bunch is a full-time job, and I'm putting in the hours.
Hey, Larry, I saluted you before you came on the air here, before you arrived. You were a Democrat. You could have laid back. You could have drank the Kern Kool-Aid. You could have been a county board member the rest of your life because you are a proud Democrat. I know you're a union man. You're a proud Democrat. But and I talked for you earlier. I don't know if it's true, but I said I think Larry Stammer just got tired of the culture of corruption, and him being elected was secondary. He wanted to represent the people properly, and he couldn't do it. You can't do it by supporting Kern in St. Clair County. Is that true?
That's true, Bob. I've always been there 16 years. I've been there for my constituents. I've worked hard for them. I've worked very hard to understand the issues, try to vote the right way that's going to benefit my constituents the most. It's a tough job, and like everybody else in life, you get to those points in life where you have a decision to make. And I got to that point. I didn't blink, and I decided that I would always remain true to my constituents. And so I'm an independent Democrat and an old Harry Truman Democrat, JF&K Democrat, 60 years. I wasn't going to change. I wasn't going to sell out myself to Kern or anybody else. I was going to stand with my constituents. That's the people that hired me and pay my salary, and that's the people I'm supporting and working for.
You know what? It's amazing, Larry, and I like what you said. You're an independent Democrat. What a great country this would be if everybody was either a great independent Democrat, a great independent Republican, or a great independent. I mean, why the hell does somebody have to follow party lines? And I'll segue off on mine. I'm running as a Republican. But if the Democrats do something for my district, the 114th district, that's going to benefit my people and the state, I'm not going to say, Madigan, as much as I hate that son of a bitch, I'm not going to say, Madigan, I'm voting against you because you're a Democrat. I'm going to vote for what's good for my people, just like you do, Larry. And I'm tired of this partisan politics. We got to get away from it. And I heard a poll, Larry, that has said 45% of the people now identify as independents. And so the rest are Democrats or Republicans. So the independents have become the majority party. And I hope people understand that in your election. Don't vote for you because you're a Democrat. Vote for you for what you've done for the people in your county board district. You've done a great job. That's why you should get the vote, not because there's a D or an R behind your name.
Well, Bob, it is an issue, and I think the Freedom Coalition has come up with the perfect answer: to vote the person, not the party. And that's a tough thing for a lot of people to wrap their mind around and understand. But at a certain point, we got to stop voting for people because they're a Republican or a Democrat. We got to start voting for people because they're going to go in there and be honest and work hard for their constituents. And I'll reference something here. You know, I'll go back. I am a Democrat, and I'm not with the Republicans, but I'm certainly going to support any Freedom Coalition candidate that's standing up for the people. The problem we have, and I'll reference that flyer they sent out about you, Bob.
I love the picture, but go ahead.
They got Ronald Reagan on there, who, forget about that he was a Republican. Talk about what Ronald Reagan did. And two things that really stick out in my mind is that he come up with a Star Wars thing, and he killed the Cold War. He ended the Cold War, and I think that's a great thing.
Sure.
And then the other thing was he come forward and did the thing at the gate at the Berlin Wall, and that wall come down. I mean, that's presidential,
right?
And I'm going to talk here as a Democrat. Our party in St. Clair County, the Democratic Party, the proud party that I've been a member of for 60 years, has been hijacked, infiltrated, invaded. We have this Mark Kern and the culture of corruption squatting in our proud party here. We've got to get them out. I mean, I'm not going to apologize for the flyer because that wasn't me. That's not right. That's not the kind of Democrat I am, Bob. And what I want to say is that it's an embarrassment to me, but this is what happens when you let somebody take over your party that's not out there working for the people anymore. They're working for the few. It's the few for the few, and it's a problem. And it's an embarrassment to me as a Democrat to see that anybody would send that out. Yeah. And I think it's really energized the Republican Party is what it's done.
Larry, do you think people are that stupid? And see, even Democrats, Republicans, independents that have got that flyer on me, and I love it. I'm using that picture on my flyer when I start sending them out. But that's how the Democratic culture of corruption think that we're all stupid in St. Clair County. Now, finally, after 50 years of screwing the Republicans and screwing the good Democrats like you, the true Democrats, they're sending something out warning the Republicans. Cost them $45,000 to send that nice hit piece out on me. Warning the Republicans, don't be for Bob Romanik and the Freedom Coalition and the Republican ticket, because they're bad. Larry, if we were bad for the Republicans in this county, they would have kept their mouth shut. The culture of corruption. They're desperate, Larry. They are desperate. They don't know what to do. The bullies have been called out into the street, and guess what? They're not coming out.
You're exactly right, Bob. And the feedback I get from my folks that are Democrats and proud of it is we're really concerned about this bunch that's hijacked our party, Mark Kern and the culture of corruption. We want our party back. We want the proud Democratic Party back in St. Clair County. They sent a hit piece out on me. I'm sure there's another one coming out. The only thing I can say about it, Bob, is that the picture on there, well, I'll just be humble here and say the picture they put on their flyer, it actually makes me, I look better in the picture than I do in real life.
I got to agree with you, Larry. I got to agree. And you know what I got to say? How the hell can you be at two places at one time? It appeared to me with that picture that your face was all red. They've tried to distort it a little bit, but it looks like that you were down in Florida for the last 2 months with that sunburn that they give you.
Well, Bob, that's just the way it is. And that's the color I get when I get mad at the stuff that Mark Kern and the culture of corruption are doing to my constituents and the people of St. Clair County. And another thing, they did spell my name right in the flyer, so I guess I'm grateful for that. And Bob, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I think the Freedom Coalition and the people of St. Clair County need to pay attention, and I think we need to get out and vote. That's how the culture of corruption stays in power, is people don't come out and vote. We've got a primary here. I know a lot of people don't want to come in and declare they're a Democrat or declare they're a Republican. But if you're in District 26 where I'm at, and you want honest government, you're going to have to come walk in and declare you're Democrat and vote for me. That's just the simple facts there. It's at a certain point, people need to walk across the street, walk down the street, get in their car and drive, and go vote. That's how our country works best, and that's how you get good, honest people in government. Is we have a big turnout and we have a lot of people voting, and that's going to be for the best benefit of everybody in St. Clair County. My opponent, kind of a disappointment in many ways to me. He hasn't said what he stands up for on his literature. He's basically telling everybody nothing about him or what he believes in, and it's a shame.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Larry, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and we've got Mr. Scott Tiemann with us. He'll be with us momentarily, but I would ask you, I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm running for state rep in the 114th District. Mid-America Airport's there. I've talked to Roger Cook, who will make a great county board chairman. We're going to fight, Larry, and we hope that you, as a Democrat, would fight with us for all the people of St. Clair County to address this Mid-America Airport. Now, I don't know exactly what can be done, but I want that financial burden because we've got enough financial burden for all of our hardworking taxpayers in St. Clair County. I would ask now that if you would pledge to work with us, not a political with us, but a people with us to do something to get this tax burden off the good people of St. Clair County.
Well, Bob, I'm going to do exactly what I and other members of the board have been doing. We're going to try to somehow get control and responsibility for the airport, find out what's going on out there, crunch the numbers, and see what we can do that is in the best interest of the taxpayers and the people living in St. Clair County.
Very well said. Stick around. We've got Larry Stammer and also Scott Tiemann. Scott Tiemann, I don't know if that's his opponent, but this gentleman is Scott Tiemann, and he'll be with us right after this break. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot.
The all-new 1190 AM KQQZ, proudly broadcasting in the United States of America. The greatest country on God's green earth.
This program intended for mature audiences. The Grim Reaper of radio, death, and taxes. 3 things you never really want to experience. Now, let's get back to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. With me, Mr. Larry Stammer, a great man, a good friend of the people of St. Clair County. He's the incumbent county board member for District 26 in St. Clair County, and it's always an honor and a privilege. Larry, thanks for coming by and being transparent to the people. What else is on your plate? What do you have to say to the good people of your district and your county?
Well, Bob, I'll switch back to my opponent again. Like I've said, and I've always been a proud Democrat. My opponent won't even put Democrat on his literature or on his political signs. What's up with that? Are you ashamed of the Democratic Party? What's going on with that? And Bob, I'm a proud union member. My dad and my grandpa, who sadly both passed away, and myself and my uncle, we have over 200 years of membership in Local 101 Plumbers and Fitters right here in Belleville. And I was out watching my opponent out working with some people, and my opponent has a notorious union buster out working for him. He's supposed to have a union card in his pocket. I'm starting to wonder. He had Frank Bergman, a guy that tried to bust the unions and break them down and Cahokia.
Oh, Jesus. Well, you know what, though, Larry? That means that he's got Kern. That means Kern's supporting Tiemann, which means everybody in your district ought to vote for you because, see, the culture of corruption just wraps around. They tell me that Scott Tiemann didn't even want to run, but they wanted somebody against you to show you that if you didn't step and fetch for them and you didn't do what they wanted to do instead of what your people wanted, that they were going to do something to you.
My position as a county board member and my position as a union member, neither one of them are for sale to anybody. I simply work for my constituents and I stand up for them, Bob.
Well, I'll tell you, Larry, I know you're not drinking the Kern Kool-Aid because you could have had that seat forever. I want to applaud you and thank you for helping fight the culture of corruption. And who do I have next to you, Larry?
You have Scott Tiemann here.
Mr. Scott Tiemann, it's an honor and a privilege. How the heck are you doing today, sir?
Well, I'm pretty good, Bob. Thanks a lot for having me on.
Well, listen, you don't look like your picture. You're the real Scott Tiemann, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I'm the real Scott Tiemann, born and raised in Belleville. I know how to spell my last name. It's with 2 N's, not one.
But, you know, what they tell me, Scott, that there's a lot of people that are confusing you for this idiot. And I say idiot because he's an idiot for Mark Sweet Cakes Kern. He didn't want to run for county board, but Kern put him out there because Larry Stammer was a man and stood up to Kern. But they say you got a lot of people, and people are a little confused because you've made a good name for yourself. I just hope that they don't confuse you, the good Scott Tiemann, with this idiot, this shill that Mark Kern has put up against the candidate Larry Stammer, a fighter for his county board district.
Well, you're right, Bobby. I'm driving down the road and I see the signs that say Scott Tiemann, and I'm starting to question myself whether or not I'm running. So I just wanted to come on the radio. I knew Larry was going to be here, and to let all my friends and family know that I'm not running for politics. I never will be into politics. So when it comes time to vote, do not vote for Scott Tiemann. Do not vote for me.
Do not vote. Hey, now that's really novel. We have Scott Tiemann, the candidate against Larry Stammer. Then we have Scott Tiemann saying, "Don't vote for Scott Tiemann, vote for Larry Stammer." Now, I think that's good. It's a little confusing, but Scott, I'm glad that you stopped by because you've got a great reputation in Belleville and surrounding area. You used to be a businessman. Everybody's got a lot of respect for you. It'd be a shame for somebody to vote for Scott Tiemann because they think they're voting for the good Scott Tiemann, then instead of this idiot that's a shill. You got hair. This guy doesn't have hair, this Scott Tiemann here, but this Scott Tiemann that's running against Larry Stammer is, and I've heard of him, he's out there only because Kern put him out there. So people, for anybody against Kern, don't vote for this Scott Tiemann because he's an idiot. He's drinking the Kern Kool-Aid. Larry Stammer refuses to be a shill for the Democratic culture of corruption. He's a true Democrat. But there's not Democrats, people, running St. Clair County. They're the black sheep. They're the renegades. They're the thieves. They're the political thieves. They're the political mafia. So if you're a good Democrat, don't let Kern and Sprague and Bear Civic say you got to vote for us because we're Democrats. No, you good people are the true Democrats. These are the black sheep that have to be getting rid of. Larry Stammer, going to give you the last word, buddy.
Yeah, Bob, just to let everybody know, I've known Scott Tiemann, the Belleville one, the real one, for many years. When I started, I used to work for Illinois Power Company. When I started there, his dad worked there. And I can tell you that his dad was an icon, a saint of a man. When people needed to know how to do their job and had questions about how to do their job right, they went to his dad because he was the guy that had the answers and could tell you how to do things, not only just about your job, but about things in life. And I had such an admiration for Scott's dad, James H. Tiemann, Jimmy Tiemann, that I named my son after him. That's how I go back with the Tiemanns. And quite frankly, quite a few of them actually worked out of my union hall and been members for years. I mean, when you say the Tiemann name in Belleville, and you associate it with Plumbers and Fitters Local 101, you're talking about very, very skilled union craftsmen that show up every day for the job, give an employer a day's work for a day's pay, and do the best job that could possibly be done. It's a real, I guess it's a great thing for me to be actually associated with the Tiemanns and worked with them, and I have a lot of respect for them. They're good, honest people.
Mr. Larry Stammer, thank you very much. Mr. Scott Tiemann, thank you. Mr. Larry Stammer's running for county board on the 26th County Board District. He'll be up this Tuesday. People, please, if you want to help get rid of the culture of corruption, give Larry Stammer a vote, because people like him are going to stand up to these rotten, no-good son of a bitches that we've had for the last 50 years. It's promised us for the last 50 years, then have screwed us for the last 50 years. Larry Stammer, again, thank you very much. The best of luck to you. In passing, I have to say, again, for all these candidates, you know, they run, a lot of them run like Larry Stammer to do good for the people. Don't vote the party, vote the person. I promise you, if I'm elected, I will not be a politician for any political party, but I will be a public servant to all the people. And that's what we need to do. And in passing, before we go, God Sprague, tell your wife, roly-poly, she wants to ride on a real man to come on to Romanik land and ride the Screaming Bob. She can ride me all day long, you no-good piece of crap. People, go to Facebook, St. Clair County Freedom Coalition on Facebook, and see Sprague and his depends, because this no-good son of a bitch is depending on you to put millions of dollars in his pocket. Let's pull his depends off of his pants. And Bob, that's what a urinal is for in a men's restroom. I don't know if you would use the women's restroom because you're kind of a ladylike kind of man. But please, don't piss in your pants. Piss in the urinal. Mr. Bob Sprague, an insult and embarrassment to everybody in St. Clair County. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, very proud to be the Patriot. Come on back Monday. This crazy son of a bitch is going to be all over those crazy son of a bitches, but I'm a crazy son of a bitch. You ain't stealing from you, ain't robbing from you, ain't taking your hardworking taxpayers' dollars and screwing you. We're going to continue, people, to fight this culture of corruption in St. Clair County. So come with us. Come with the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. Unite Democrats, Republicans, men, women, independents, black and white, and a few transsexuals. Hey, Sprague, Kern, if you know any transsexuals, and I think you do, give them a call. We'll take them too. But we're going to continue to fight this culture of corruption. And together, people, on a serious note, we can't tolerate this corruption in St. Clair County any longer. November the 8th, 2016, let's remove all these rotten bastards, and let's continue to unite to expose these political parasitical punks, and at the end of the day, destroy them. But before I say destroy them politically, of course, Sprague, if you ever want to quit pissing in your pants and pissing in a urinal, make sure you flush it, you stanky son of a bitch. And don't forget, Patty, the Screaming Bob is waiting for you, a real man's ride, something like you've never experienced because you've never been with a real man. And that's for you, Sprague. I've drawn the line, you rotten bastard. Come get me, because I'm not afraid of your stinky, pissy ass. We'll see you tomorrow, right here. Well, politically, of course. Destroy them politically, of course. Just about forgotten. Right here on the dark side.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. And I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha.